time to read. It's time to read. Let's all watch together. Let's all watch together. What story will it be? What story will it be? Daddy!
Hello everybody and welcome to Danny Duck's Book Club with me, Shannon, and Danny the Duck. So it's now December, so outside is getting a little bit colder. You might have been opening an advent calendar, which all means that it's almost time for Christmas. So today we have two Christmassy stories for you to listen to. We have the Great Christmas Pudding Rescue and Norman the Slug Who Saved Christmas. So your reader today is going to be me, and I haven't seen Danny anywhere today. I can't find him at all. I'm going to have a little sip of my hot chocolate, and I want you to see if you can find Danny anywhere in this room. Can you see him anywhere? I wonder where he could be. Is he over here? I can't see him anywhere. Is he over here? No, I don't think he's over there. Where could he be? Can you see him on your screen? Oh, there you are, Danny. You are hiding up there. What's that you've got on your head? It looks like Danny Duck has dressed for the Christmas occasion, and he has got himself a little Santa hat. Do you have a Santa hat at home that you could wear for today's story? Why don't you put it on if you have one? Me and Danny are going to be reading to you today, so both the stories will be read by us, and we hope that you enjoy them very, very much. If you have a favourite Christmas story, maybe you could tell us about it. Okay everybody, so we're ready for the first story. Me and Danny are all set up. The first story is The Great Christmas Pudding Rescue. Now this story has a lovely little message to it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So this story is by Claire Freedman and Samara Hardy. Snow fell softly and the air buzzed with excited whispers. The happy villagers of Pudding Town were watching and waiting for the Pudding Express to arrive. It carried a precious cargo, all the yummy ingredients needed for their Christmas pudding festival. Here they are at the train station. Just then there was an announcement. "Disaster!" cried the station master. "The Pudding Express is stuck in the snow!" "Oh no," the people cried. "We can't have our great pudding festival without it. What shall we do?" What do you think they're going to do next? Let's find out. There was only one thing that they could do, so they wrote a letter to Santa. "Dear Santa, the Pudding Express is snowed up at Jam Junction. On board are all the ingredients we need to cook the giant Christmas pudding for our great pudding festival. We can't have a pudding festival without a pudding. Please help. From the people of Pudding Town." Do you think Santa is going to help the people of Pudding Town? Let's find out. As the smallest child was about to post the letter, a sudden breeze blew it high into the frosty sky. Swoosh! Maybe it happened because they were hoping and caring, loving and sharing. Whee! The letter swirled above the rooftops and over the frozen lake to Santa at the North Pole, far, far away. Santa was in his workshop when the envelope swooped through his letterbox and landed on his desk. "Oh dear," he gasped, reading it. "Something must be done." Santa stomped outside into the snow and whistled very loudly. Can you whistle? Let's do it together. Out from the trees, animals and birds came hopping and skipping excitedly. We have a bear, a robin, a hedgehog, some mice, a fox, a deer, and my absolute favourite, some little bunny rabbits. Santa explained all about the train stuck in the deep snow. "What can we do to help?" Squirrel asked. "I'll show you," Santa replied. They followed him into his huge Christmas cavern. Every shelf was piled high with presents. "Aha! Found it," Santa smiled, reaching for a huge cookbook. Mrs. Claus's very secret, scrumptious Christmas pudding recipe. And here is everything we need to make it. There was spicy cinnamon and crunchy almonds, brown sugar, juicy raisins, and sticky treacle. "Delicious," said Bear, dipping his paw in the treacle. Santa found fresh brown eggs, creamy butter, squidgy cherries, and zingy ginger. "Smells lovely," squeaked Mouse. "Achoo!" sneezed Fox, opening the flour packet. There was even a shiny silver sixpence to hide in the pudding, and holly to decorate it. Each of the animals carried off an ingredient. "Thank you, friends," said Santa. "I would come with you, but it's Christmas Eve and I have a very important job to do." The animals set off for Pudding Town, but with a few mishaps along the way. They almost got lost in a snow blizzard. What do we think a snow blizzard would sound like? Let's try to make the sound together. Very good. Follow our singing, chirped the robins. "We'll lead you through." Mouse got a little upset when she sat on some prickly holly that Hare had left behind, and some cherries went missing. On the slippery frozen lake, Squirrel dropped her raisins. They scattered everywhere. Fortunately, Hedgehog was able to help collect them in no time. And here is the little hedgehog rolling around, picking up all the raisins on his prickles. But they had lots of fun too, skating across the frozen lake, egg juggling competitions. Oops, it looks like they've dropped a couple. And snowdrift jumping. "It's getting late," Fox said. "We must hurry." At last they saw the lights of Pudding Town. "I never thought we'd get here in time," said Rabbit. Maybe it's because they were hoping and caring and loving and sharing. What a surprise the villagers had when they saw the animals bringing such wonderful supplies for their great pudding festival. "Hooray!" they cheered. "Thank you!" Everyone got straight to work. There was mixing and stirring and grating and chopping. "I'm in charge of the tasting," laughed Bear. "We're happy to help," said the children. There was adding and pouring and measuring and whisking. Finally, the pudding was ready to put in the oven. "It's almost Christmas," the people yawned. "We should get in bed before Santa arrives." The town awoke to the sounds of robins singing happily. It was Christmas Day. What song do you think the robins were singing? Were they singing a Christmas song? Let's find out what happens next. Santa had visited overnight and there was presents for everybody. "Snow sledges," laughed the children. "Raisin cookies," smiled the hedgehog. "A giant tub of treacle," said the bear with a sticky grin. In all the fun and excitement, they almost forgot about their pudding. Everyone waited in bated breath to see how it had turned out. Let's see. The pudding was enormous. "Our biggest ever," the people cheered. It was hot and steaming, and the yummy smell made everyone feel very hungry. "I can't wait to taste it," grinned Bear. No one could. Hooray! It was the best Great Pudding Festival that Pudding Town had ever held. The day was filled with feasting and friendship, sparkles and smiles, singing and dancing. Best of all, the pudding tasted delicious, and there was more than enough for all the people and animals. "Even I can't eat another crumb," Bear sighed. "We found the silver sixpence," squeaked the mice happily. "What a magical day we've shared," the villagers said to the animals. "Thank you for helping us. You saved our Great Pudding Festival." The animals smiled. Maybe it was because they'd been hoping and caring and loving and sharing, that together they all had the right ingredients for the perfect Christmas. And maybe, just maybe, if we begin hoping and sharing and loving and caring, then all our dreams will also come true. And that's the end of our story. What did you think about our message in this story about loving and caring and hoping and sharing? I thought it was very nice and a very wonderful Christmas message, but I think it's important that we do it all year round and not just at Christmas time. I hope you enjoyed our first story, and in a second we're going to move on to our second story. Okay everybody, it is time for our second story. Now this one is about Norman, and it's called The Slug Who Saved Christmas. I cannot wait to find out how Norman the Slug is going to save Christmas this year. Let's see what happens. By Sue Hendra and Paul Linnet. Norman was very excited. It was Christmas Eve. His stocking was up, and he'd even left a snack for Father Christmas's reindeer. Meanwhile, far above, Father Christmas sneezed, "Achoo!" And without him knowing, a sack fell from his sleigh. Down on the ground, Norman was all snuggled up in his bed. "I hope I've been a good slug," he said to himself. "I hope Father Christmas comes." "Yes, I have been a good slug," thought Norman. And he was just closing his eyes when... thwack! "Gosh," thought Norman, "I didn't know I'd been that good. Thanks, Father Christmas. Look at this big bag of presents that Norman has found." What do you think he's going to do with them all? Norman dived straight in. There was wrapping paper everywhere. But then he spotted something. "What's this label?" said Norman. Can you read what it says? It says, Billy. "This scooter's for Jess," he read. "This ukulele's for Billy. And the football is for Susie. Oh no, what have I done? None of these presents are for me. Billy, Jess and Susie will wake up tomorrow and think that Father Christmas has forgotten them. I'd better get these presents to Wiggleton as fast as I can." And here's their address here. It says, The Shelby Family, 11 Slime Avenue, Wiggleton. But Wiggleton looked a very long way away. How would Norman get all the presents there? And that's why, when he had an idea, heave! He pushed over a sign. Fantastic! That will do nicely, thought Norman. And then he set to work gathering the other things he needed. He was very busy. How busy he is. Ta-da! Now it was time to rewrap the presents. But how? Norman didn't have any sticky tape. Here is Norman's sleigh as well. Doesn't it look absolutely wonderful? What can you see on it? I think it's got leaves and holly and twigs and all kinds of wonderful things that he's found. But luckily, if there's one thing that slugs don't need, it's sticky tape. With a slither and a slather, the presents were ready. Phew! Now it was time to put his plan into action. "Hey, snails," he called, "I need your help. We need to deliver the Shelby family's presents, or their Christmas will be ruined." "But Norman," said the puzzled snails, "how will we do that?" "Like this," said Norman. "Giddy up!" And Norman, who has now got a Christmas hat on, has used all the snails as little tiny reindeer to help him get down into Wiggleton. Whee! Look at them go. They're very fast snails, aren't they? Crash! Finally, they arrived at number 11, Slime Avenue. Norman," said a snail, "how will you get to the chimney?" "I won't," Norman replied. "I'm just going to use the cat flap." He heaved and pushed, and finally the last present was safely through. "Quick, Norman," said the snails. "The children are coming." Norman needed to hide. But where? Where do you think Norman's going to hide? I think I've got an idea, but I'm not sure. Maybe he will hide behind the curtains. Maybe he will hide underneath the sofa. What's a good place for a little slug like Norman to hide in your house? Ta-da! Here he is, on the Christmas tree, pretending to be a snail. Norman loved being a bauble, and nobody would ever know that a slug had saved Christmas Day. And that's the end of the story. Didn't Norman do such a fantastic job of saving Christmas Day? Now, on our Facebook group, Danny Duck's Book Club, we've uploaded a craft for you all to do to make your very own Norman the Christmas bauble to put on your trees this year. Perhaps you could send us any pictures of the ones that you make. So if you make a Norman Christmas bauble, don't forget to share those with us. Okay, so that's the end of our 2 stories today. We had Norman the Slug Who Saved Christmas and The Great Christmas Pudding Rescue. Which was your favourite story? Did you like the animals all coming together to help save Christmas? Or Norman the Slug and his snail reindeers helping to save the Christmas for one family in Wiggleton? I really liked both stories, and I'm not sure which I would pick as my favourite. But I think Danny really liked Norman because he quite likes the idea of being a Christmas bauble too. I hope you loved Book Club today and that you really enjoyed our Christmas special episode. We will be having another Christmassy session next week, which will be uploaded on Wednesday. And we will shortly be telling you about our schedule over the Christmas period for any bits that we won't be here for. But we hope you had a fantastic book club today. Don't forget to let us know what your favourite story was by emailing shannon@duckegg.org.uk. Bye everybody, and Merry Christmas! Goodbye, goodbye everyone. I sure hope that you had fun. We'll be back another day to laugh and dance and sing and play. Goodbye, goodbye everyone. I sure hope that you had fun.